Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Welcome and thanks for joining Facebook live class today on Communicative English. Dear students, I am Zahid Hasan, Instructor English, Dhaka Mohila Polytechnic Institute is greeting you this morning. How are you? Dear students, I think you are fine by the way. Can you hear me please? I think it's okay. Dear students, do you remember the last topic we discussed? Yes, it was about writing letter. All right, dear students, last couple of days I had been talking about CV or resume, letter writing, and so on. Today, in connection to that discussion, those discussion, I would like to continue with writing application. Actually, it's like formal letter, it is called a cover letter when we go for applying for a job. Dear students, nowadays a single application with some personal details cannot make sure to get a job. We have to submit a complete resume or CV with a cover letter. Actually, what we used to say job application. In modern time, job application is a set of two things, that is cover letter and a resume. So first of all, we will try to learn what is a job application, which is also known as cover letter, as I mentioned earlier, and how it can be prepared in international standard. Later, we will review a complete job application along with resume, right? Though today's topic is about introduction to job application, but resume is the inseparable part of a job application. Therefore, we need to review both cover letter and resume. So let's say what happens inside the presentation of lesson 15, lecture 20. So back to the lesson. I hope you are watching the first slide. That is Communicative English for all technology, subject code 65722. And completing this course, our students or learners will be able to develop creative writing ability. They will develop their transferring information, ideas, and knowledge, and sequentially or ultimately they will be competent enough in uh, communicative competence in the workplace or real life situations. Okay. So today, lesson 15, lecture 20. In today's lesson, we will focus on introduction to job application, you see, and we will learn some new vocabulary related to job application, and ultimately you are advised to practice speaking online with your friends, that is about the job application versus cover letter for a job. Okay, and writing task is also mandatory in this in this lesson here. That is, you are advised to write uh, a cover letter for a job. Okay, all right, dear students, don't forget to use headphones while going to listen to me. In today's lesson, the learning outcome is, you will learn what is a job application, what to include in job application, what to list in an application contact session, what to choose an appropriate salutation, how to highlight qualification in the body section, and why to include keywords in application, how to choose an appropriate closing, when to add signature to application, then review application, and CV also. So let's say, what is a job application? What do we mean? Actually, a job application is a document set with resume to provide education additional information about skills and experience to an employer. Okay, and oftenly it is called or it is known as cover letter also. So what is why and when the job application we go for preparing. See, what position you are applying for. Okay, when we go for applying for a job, we need to take care on that following points. That is, what position you are or we are applying for, what makes you a strong candidate, why should select you for an interview, why the employer select you for an interview, and how you will follow up. Okay, that is the main point. So we have to pay attention while we go for applying for a job. Okay, and what to include in cover letter for a job application. You see, when writing a cover letter, specific information needs to be included, such as contact session, as I mentioned uh, in my last slide, and then salutation, information on why you are qualified for the job, closing, signature. Actually, these are the important section of a job application. We need to pay attention to that points. Okay, and it is very important for you to take note that the way the information is listed and the format depend on how you are or how we are sending this letter. I mean, nowadays we may send or we may submit the application, job application by hand or by email. So it depends. If it happens to email, and then of course you need to have some change. If you submit it to by yourself, then it requires some another situations. Okay, so let's see what happens to the next slide. That is what to list in an application contact session. আমরা আমি আজকে একটু বাংলায় বলতে চাই তোমাদের সাথে, তোমাদের দীর্ঘদিনের চাওয়া, because this lecture is very important for you. তার কারণ হচ্ছে আমরা এখনো স্টিল নাও আমরা জব অ্যাপ্লিকেশন এবং কভার লেটার এই দুটোর মধ্যে পার্থক্যটা বোঝাটা আমাদের জন্য খুবই জরুরি। রিগার্ডিং দিস we need to explain it in Bengali, okay? And sometimes I will talk in Bengali, right? So here you see contact information. This is very important, okay? You should take care about the contact information, both from the part of you and from the part of the employers, you see. So you have to include contact information from the part of applicant and from the part of company. So first we have to mention your name, your address, your city, state and zip code, your phone number, your email address, date, name of recipient, title of recipient, company address, city, state, and zip code. Okay, in the next slide, when we will go for uh, starting or reviewing the example, then ultimately you will get this template there. Okay. Okay, all right. Choose an appropriate salutation. This is very important to choose the salutation because it depends on the situation. What salutation you have to mention or you have to address. That is how well you know the recipient. Okay, তুমি কতটা আসলে recipient কে চিনো, অর্থাৎ তুমি যার কাছে যাকে অ্যাড্রেস করে অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা করতে চাচ্ছ তার সাথে তোমার সম্পর্কটা কিরকম, কতটা তুমি তাকে চিনো সেটা একটা বিষয়। আর একটা বিষয় হচ্ছে whether you are sending a written or printed letter or an email, তুমি সেখানে নিজের হাতে লিখছো আবেদনখানি, নাকি কম্পিউটার প্রিন্ট করেছো, নাকি ইমেলে পাঠাচ্ছ, দ্যাট ইজ অলসো ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, দ্যাট ইজ অলসো সিচুয়েশনস। দ্য টাইপ অফ লেটার ইউ আর সেন্ডিং, এবং কি ধরনের লেটার তুমি দিচ্ছ সেটা একটা বিষয়। সো সেটার উপরে ডিপেন্ড করছে স্যালুটেশন। সো স্যালুটেশন, the appropriateness of salutation depends on that very situation. So for formal job application, আমাদের দেশে যেটা হয় normally, all over the world it happens like this: dear sir, dear hiring manager, or dear HR manager. If you don't have a contact person name or whatsoever, or dear Mr. Smith or dear Rajib Ahmed, but আমাদের দেশে it's a little bit different. That is, আমরা সাধারণত ডিয়ার শব্দটা ব্যবহার করি না। সেটার ব্যাখ্যা আমি এখন দিতে চাচ্ছি না তোমাদেরকে, বিকজ টাইম ইজ ভেরি শর্ট। সো আমরা সিম্পলি লিখি স্যার। ওকে, আই বেগ টু স্টেট দ্যাট হোয়াটসএভার। অলরাইট, আমার মনে হয় যে এই অবস্থাতে থাকাটাই আমাদের জন্য ভালো। ইফ ইউ গো ফর রাইটিং or forwarding or sending job application internationally, then you of course use dear sir, dear hiring manager, dear HR manager. But in terms of our country, it is better not to use dear, okay, the very word, because আমাদের দেশে এটা চলে না। Simply you can address sir. Okay. One thing is very important. At the same time, you need not to mention madam. Okay. So there is no gender description nowadays going on in our all over the world. So simply sir is enough. Okay, highlight your qualification in the body section. This is also very important part of our job application. The body is the most important part of applying for employment. The body of a cover letter includes the paragraph where you explain why you are interested in and qualified for the posted job. অর্থাৎ আমাদের যে জব কভার লেটারে যে বডিটা থাকে, সেখানে আমরা আসলে যুক্ত করি যে কেন আমি এই চাকরিটা করতে চাচ্ছি এবং কি উদ্দেশ্যে, এবং আমি কেন অ্যাপ্লাই করেছি, এবং এই পদটা কেন আমার কাছে পছন্দনীয়। সো we can say simply like this: why you are writing. First you have to pay attention to that. Why you are writing, you have to describe why you are writing, and then how you are qualified for the job, and you have to defend yourself, why you think that you are qualified for the job, and then appreciation for being considered for the position. And you will just appreciate the employer uh, for considering your application. Okay. And note, it is very important to note that be specific by referencing the employer's job requirements. আমাদেরকে এটা অবশ্যই মনে রাখতে হবে যে employers কি চাচ্ছেন, employers এর requirements কি, সেই অনুযায়ী কিন্তু আমাকে আমার এই জব অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা সাজাতে হবে, এবং সেই অনুযায়ী কিন্তু আমাদের প্রিপারেশনটা নিতে হবে। So this is also very urgent to know if you want to make sure that you are getting a job where you are going to apply. Okay. And then include keywords in your application. This is very important. Actually, this section is used, or this part is used in our resume, where we can detail our skills, abilities, credentials, and qualities. So each and every CV it requires, and when you submit your job application, of course, the HR manager or hiring manager, of course, look into the CV, and first time they have a check on the very words, that is skills, abilities, credentials, and qualities. So if you want to apply for the post of employee benefits manager, of course you need to pay attention to that very points, that is employee benefit plans, healthcare benefits, benefit policy. That means on that very points you have to pay attention much more, and ultimately the hiring manager will look into that points. And if you want to apply for the job of a customer service representative, of course you need to pay attention to that following points, that is customer service, customer tracking systems, computer skills, order entry experience. So these are the skills they need to know from the part of you. So you have to mention these skills for two positions. Okay, these are very important. Okay, choose an appropriate closing. It is also very, very important to have a formal closing in a professional manner. Actually, casual closing is not appreciated by the potential employer. So you must be careful when you go for the closing. Usually, we use this template, that is best regards, respectfully, regards, sincerely, thank you for your consideration, with best regards, kind regards, yours truly, most sincerely, respectfully yours. In our country, we use mostly sincerely and most sincerely and with best regards. These are the templates, three templates usually we use for job application. Okay. Internationally, you can use other templates also, but to some extent, it is not good to use in terms in the perspective of our country. That is, thank you for your consideration. Thank you whatsoever. Okay. When you go for applying job internationally, then you can use any of the template. Okay. These are all formal. Okay, these are sticky notes. This is very also important. Add your signature to application. Of course, you have to end mm, writing cover letter, adding signature. If you want to submit your application in hard copies, of course, you have to sign by hand. And if you want to send by via email, you need to scanning your signature to include on PDFs. It has it can be a nice touch. It looks good. Okay, so this is very important to ensure your signature. Okay, as I mentioned in my earlier slides, that I will let you show or we will have some review of job application, I mean cover letter and a resume, as because both are the inseparable part of job application. So before going that, we want to learn some useful phrases for job application, So you see, when we go for develop a cover letter, we need to have some, we need to describe ourselves in some paras. So where how we can start it. Okay, so in first para, you see, you can start like this. I noted with interest your advertisement for a position or in some today's editions, blah blah blah. You can start with this very line, or you can start, or you can choose the following alternative, that is, I'm writing in response to your advertisement. Actually, we use this line in our country in response to the advertisement given in the daily Ittifaq whatsoever. Okay, but you have the alternative here. You can choose any of the lines, or you can choose any of the startup. I would like to apply for the vacancy advertised, okay, in blah 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 with reference to your advertisement in same thing as you will see from my CV. So these are the starter. This is called a starter, and at the very beginning of our description, I mean body of the cover letter, we can start with this following sentences. And in the second paragraph, when we now want to describe our skills, academic qualifications, we can start like this: after graduating, since leaving university, or having gained a degree, or while I was working at, I am currently employed as so and so. Okay, so we can start with these very phrases. We can rephrase it, and in paragraph 3, we have to usually we go for pursuing the employers why you are interested or why the applicant is interested to get in to get the job. So this post interest me because blah blah. The I would welcome the chance to gain more experience. You have to write off your own. Then I would be grateful for the opportunity. Actually, these are the alternatives. You can choose any of the line. Okay. And then finally, last paragraph, if you consider that, I mean, you have to appreciate the employers to consider your um, application. Okay. Okay. So let's say this is the review of our application. Suppose you want to uh, uh, apply for the job of assistant director, Samsung's BD Limited. Yeah. Okay, so if we imagine that we have to apply for the post of assistant director at Samsung BD Limited, how it can be? Okay, so let's see what happens here. First, you have to give the employee address, and then your salutation. You see, dear Mr. Lee, or dear sir, or simply sir. Okay, I am writing to state my interest in the position of Assistant Director of Samsung BD Limited. I believe that my work experience and education have equipped me with the skills necessary to be a successful candidate for this position. Okay, during my years with New Zealand Dairy, I have been responsible for everything from counting, bookkeeping, marketing, and maintaining records to scheduling appointments and greeting clients and their families at the door. I have proudly overseen our growth from a startup business to a well respected contributor to the community. And then in the third para, you see, I have also been in charge of organizing a successful annual golf fundraiser and dinner. Last year, we raised Taka 1,45,000 for our local homeless shelter. Yeah, your mission is an important one, and I would very much appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and about how I can contribute to your team and help you continue to provide the services so vital to our community. Thank you for your consideration. Okay, now let's see the sample application cover letter. You see, first the employer's details, addresses are given, then salutation, then the first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, and fourth paragraph. You see, in the first paragraph, you are just introducing the post where you are interested to applying, and the second paragraph, you are just explaining your work experience. And in the third paragraph, you see, you are trying to pursuing that you have some other extra qualities. And in the fourth paragraph, you are trying to appreciate your employer uh, on behalf of so that you can they can consider your application positively. And thirdly, you see your the salutation, conclusion, and what should I say? Uh, Simply your sincerely and your name, and you have to, if you want to submit the application uh, mm, uh, in a printed form. Of course, you have to signature. You have to put your signature, and if you want to send it to the email by email, of course, you have to uh, give the electronic signature in the PDF form, because it looks nice. It seems that it has a nice touch. Okay, so sample CV or resume, আমরা এর আগের ক্লাসগুলো তে আমরা বেশ কয়েকটি সিভি নিয়ে আলোচনা করেছিলাম। তারপরে আমি এখানে দুটো সিভি আমি অ্যাড করেছি, কারণ হচ্ছে যে জব অ্যাপ্লিকেশনে কভার লেটার এবং সিভি এই দুটো মিলিয়েই কিন্তু মূলত জব অ্যাপ্লিকেশন। তো আমরা এর আগে দেখেছি যে কভার লেটারটা কিভাবে লিখতে হয়, না আমরা নাও ইউ উইল সি হাউ CV can be prepared. Okay, so here the British style, you see, uh, name, address, telephone, and just I'm reading out the templates as because we discussed a lot. We prepared our own CV in the last class. So I don't want to describe it in details. Simply, I'm just talking about the template: name, address, telephone, mobile, email. These are the contact address, nationality, date of birth. This is British style. Okay, profile, then educational qualification, then employment history, then skills, interest, reference. Okay, in short, it's a very nice CV. Okay, so you can follow this CV. This is CV following the American style. Here also name, and then address, objective. You see, in British style, the objective is not mentioned, but it is given in different way. Okay, and then educational qualifications is given here, and then experience. Remember one thing, of course, you have to describe the duration of your experience from authentic time, you see, and then language skill, personal skill, and reference. Okay, so that is all about the resume of the following two countries. Okay, and we have finished the review of our cover letter and uh, resume also. So আমি যেটা বলতে চাচ্ছি, আসলে এই দুটো জিনিস নিয়েই কিন্তু আসলে জব অ্যাপ্লিকেশন, আই মিন কভার লেটার অ্যান্ড রিজিউমে। একসময় কিন্তু আমরা যেটাকে বলতাম জব অ্যাপ্লিকেশন, তার মধ্যেখানেই আমরা কিন্তু জীবন বৃত্তান্তটা লিখে দিতাম। অ্যাকচুয়ালি আধুনিক যুগে এটি এখন আর চলে না, কারণ হচ্ছে employers want to see the details of employees' skills, academic background, okay, personal interests. So it is not possible to heap up all the points, all the templates in one page with job application. So this is important to know that job application does not mean simply one page application with some biodata. It requires a set of bundle where cover letter and resume is included. Okay, so each and every lecture we learn some new vocabulary, you see. So here in today's lesson, we have learned cover letter skills, abilities, credentials, appreciation, professional manner, etc. So try to understand these words or phrases and try to apply it in future. Okay. As I mentioned in the group discussion, we have I ask you to talk about the job application versus cover letter for a job. So you can talk with your friends to make it clear what is job application, what is cover letter, what is resume. Okay. And then this is the homework. You see, write a cover letter for a job. You just imagine some position where you want to apply, where you want to apply for job in future. And regarding this, you just prepare a cover letter, okay, for future. And if you want to enjoy this lecture once more, then of course we have to keep watching and get connected with the following address, that is www.skills.gov.bd. And as the time is over, so I would like to um, see you. Bye. See you. And thank you once more for enjoying my lecture, and stay with me last 30 minutes. Thank you so much.